stream here. Getting going. We are getting started, and there we go. Hello, good Monday morning. I'm Dan Freund. I'm a real estate agent here in the Seacoast. You may know that because you're following me, and likely the main reason why you would be seeing this is because you already follow me. But do me a favor, leave a comment down below. Let me know that you were here, and let's connect sometime. I love having conversations about real estate, more than just real estate, but real estate happens to be what I am talking about today. So let me transition over, show you my screen. Today in Portsmouth, we have 10 new listings. A few new construction, looks like 4 new construction listings, and let's just take a look at some of these. This property, Walker Bungalow, is a really nice quiet street right off of Sagamore Ave. This looks like a really lovely little home. Beautiful porch. Let's see. Looks like it has 2 lots. Could potentially split off that second lot by the looks of it, but that would require due diligence. It's a lovely, well-kept property, really well decorated, presents and shows really well. This is lovely. It's a great little property. Nice porch, nice lot. I bet it's quite quiet out there, lots of wildlife. Let's look at this property over on Lincoln Ave. I was looking at this earlier today. This looks like a really nice property. This is well worth it. You can tell why it is priced at over 2.3 million. It shows really well. It's very well kept, high-end kitchen, lots of space. Love that porch. That porch is beautiful. Wait till we see the upstairs. Like I said, I was looking at this earlier today. Second floor here. Looks like a nice bathroom right off the hallway. Some bedrooms. But again, wait till we see the upstairs. Very clean contemporary bath. Wonder if the laundry is hidden behind those doors. Beautiful bedroom. Looks like mini split air is hidden behind these soffits. That looks really nice. Nice wet room here with a bath and shower all encased. That's nice. You can get as wet as you like in there. These stairs up to the attic area. I love what they did here with the glass railings here, because, you know, when you go into some of these attics, they have railings or they have closed off barriers to protect you from falling down the stairwell. But this opens it up and makes it feel so much roomier. I really like how they did this. First of all, it is so well done and beautiful property in this backyard. All right, is that enough gushing over this property, 54 Lincoln? I think so. Some more properties here. This looks like new construction over on Shearwater, also very similar likely here. Suzanne Drive, now this is down in off of Ocean Road. I was looking at this also. This is a nice little ranch. Some of these ranches, both in Elwyn Park and down here in this section of town, it's not as common to see this added living space. So this is nice. Extra living space, probably a 3-season porch. Doesn't look like there's any heating out there. somewhat dated kitchen, but still clean and livable. Could definitely make some improvements to that as you go. Plenty of open space though. And this must be the basement. So finished basement with its own bathroom. That is really nice. That adds a lot of usability to this property. Looks like a bedroom. You know, you always wonder going down into these basements, the smell. So that just be something to keep an eye on, or a nose on, as it were. Let's see, over on Bartlett Street, I stopped into this the other day, and it's a really cute little home. Lots of really great properties hitting the market this week. This property on Bartlett, really well maintained. I remember when they had a huge tree back here, and they had the tree company come in and remove it, and this yard is just really nice, really lovely, well kept. They've been watering it clearly, but so close. Walk to the West End, this growing West End area of town. Lots of development happening right in through here. Hannaford's is right over here. And restaurants and more coming in. It's a great area. You can kind of see from here to downtown. Not a terrible walk, really. You could definitely walk to downtown. Wonderful location. And look at this interior. Textured walls throughout, I noticed when I was there, but really clean, really well maintained. Brand new carpeting here, which is nice. Don't have to deal with grungy old 60-year-old carpeting like in some homes I've been in. Everything is super clean. Even the basement looks really good. I noticed that the walls had spray foam insulation added. That adds to the comfort of the property. So that's really nice. Really great little property. If this is your price range, $650,000, it's a great property to look at, quite honestly. Bow Street, at the high end for these new listings, but man, the views here, really beautiful. I mean, you can't beat these views. You get sunrise right here every day of the year, overlooking the river. Glow of the sunset. Now, what's interesting here, there are 2 bedrooms, and they're kind of connected through this hallway. So, and we'll see at the floor plan, they kind of share this closet space by the looks of it. This is the primary bath. Really great space. So you can kind of see this is the living floor with a living room and a kitchen and a dining area. The balcony here overlooking the river. And then here's the primary with the views of the river. This hallway. And here's the primary bath with that closet that I showed you, opening to a second bath. So this is kind of like a second hallway leading to the second bedroom. But you can't beat those views. Let's see, Islington Street 621. Where is this property? I didn't see this. This is on right by Bartlett by the looks of it. Ah, this building, yeah. So this is down right next to Papa Wheelie's, if you're familiar. Looks really bright, well lit. And let's see, Constitution Ave. These are new construction. The Sages down off of Lafayette Road. So those are the new listings. Let's see what's sold in Portsmouth over the last 7 days. Salter Street. Let's see. This is down in the South End. Water views. Yeah, this is so this is Prescott Park here in the background. That's really lovely. And just let's see. That was the opening market bell. So you know it's 9:30 at the time of this recording. Anyway, 96 days on market. Originally listed at 4.425, sold for 750,000 less. So quite a significant reduction. They did do a price change in May, and then it went pending just a few weeks ago. So it sat on the market for a while. That's what we're seeing. What I'm seeing here in New Hampshire, at least, is that these properties that are sitting on the market longer, fewer price reductions, but the lower price is being reflected in the final closing price. Here too, 113 Bow Street closed, and that was only 3 days on the market, and that sold 200,000 over the asking price. This property on Suzanne, now we did have a property on Suzanne pop up on as a new listing, so maybe that's a neighborhood that I'll go and walk and door knock later today, just to see what the story is there. 160 days on market, originally listed at 650 and sold at 595. So that's a lot of days on market. It's a lot of days to be carrying that, especially if the property is not being lived in. So that too is one thing to ask yourself when you are considering listing the property. What are your motivations? Do you need to close this quickly? Do you need to sell quickly? Or can you sit and wait for a while and hope to get that higher price? Always good things to be aware of before you get started. This property on Marcy Street, I remember looking at this. This sat for 47 days, and that sold right at the listed price. So they got what they wanted. Driftwood, that must be new construction or renovation, because that was not listed on the market and sold. So this property on Cass Street, 6 days on the market, sold 25,000 over the asking price. Let's look a little bit further out, and the 10-mile hot sheet. Let's look at new listings. So remember, last week we had 64 new listings in this 10-mile radius around Portsmouth. This week we have 76 new listings. So that is that's a good bump. Means that properties are selling, properties are closing. Let's see. Let's look at the cities. Let's see, we've got a bunch in Barrington. Dover continues to be a hotbed for new listings. Durham, just a few. Elliott, just a few. Epping, just a couple. Exeter, just a couple. Just 2 new in Greenland. 1 in Hampton. Fairfield Drive. If you know, you know. Grew up in Fairfield, a little town called Fairfield. Let's see. Hampton Falls. Kittery, Lee. Just 1 in Newcastle. A couple in Newfields within a range. Newmarket, and all the ones that we saw in Portsmouth, a couple in Rochester, several in Rye. So that is something to keep tabs on as well. Somersworth, bunch in Somersworth, South Berwick, looking over into Maine, Stratham, York. So there are a ton of new listings this week. Now, if we look at the list price, We're ranging from roughly 4 million. That Bow Street property that we looked at earlier, and Lincoln Ave also at the top of this list. You look at the taxes here. Taxes for those two properties: 18,000, 19,000, 20,000. So that too is something to consider when you're buying a home here in the area. And then let's see, down the low end, Henry Law Ave, this looks like a condo in Dover at 199. So that's our range. And if we look at, say, the middle range, let's look right around 800,000. What is 800,000 buying you in Dover? This looks like a townhouse with river access, however. So that's really nice. Nice open space. Clean. Shows well. Finished closets. Custom closets. That looks really nice. That lives really well. More custom closet space. It's like lots of space for this property. I wonder... Oh, let's go back and look at that. So this looks like it's right on the river, right on the causeway. This is the Route 4 bridge, and Wagon Hill is up over here. That's not a bad location. Let's see. HOA fees here are $534 a month. So that's something to keep in mind as well. And let's look just a little bit higher, right around, well, let's see what 900,000 in Dover is getting you. So this is single family. Not bad. Granite countertops. Conventional living spaces. Built-in shelving around the windows. Staged it really well. Staging, it can be an art for those of you thinking of selling. Staging is critically important. Clear out the clutter, clear out the space. You want to help people envision themselves living in that space. And clearing out personal items and clutter is one way to do that. But not bad. 900,000. That's what 900,000 is buying you in Dover. Let's see if we look a little further down. Let's see what 900, or rather 700,000, is buying you these days out in Lee. Let's see, what year is this property? 1989. And 3 bedrooms on a 5-acre lot in Lee. Love that porch. Nice garage, detached, so no direct entry. Not bad space. Looks very cozy and comfortable. Love that wood stove. That definitely helps if you are into heating with wood. Doesn't look like central air in the space with these window units. So, not bad there. Let's continue looking down. Let's say right around, what was that? That was 700,000. Let's see what 600,000 is buying you in Berwick. What year was this? This was 2006. So just about 20 years old. I'd say mid-grade. So laminate countertops. It's an easy upgrade. This central island is strange to me, but you know, if that's how you are using it, as a dining space, eating space. Looks bright, well lit. Love that space. That looks like it could be a Four Seasons space. Though I don't see heating around there unless it's forced air. Yep, there's some heating. So that'll keep it warm there. Yeah, that's not bad for 600,000. Let's go just a little bit lower. Let's look at what 500,000 in Dover is getting you. This property built in 1942. Detached garage. Well, somewhat attached. Nice little lot. Again, bright and airy. Radiator heat. It's like a working wood stove. Looks like quartz countertops. Quartz is really, that's a nice material. It's really strong, really durable. Sometimes granite, even granite, when it is thin, it can be brittle. Conventional setup with a dining room. So, these are also things to think of when you are buying a property. Do you love contemporary living with lots of open space, or can you handle a more traditional living space with closed off rooms? You can always open up rooms. Clawfoot tub. Looks like an upper floor office. So these are nice. I have to get going here and sign off, but at any rate, this is what the market is doing this week. We've got a lot of new listings here on the market, and not so many price reductions, but we are still seeing price reductions. Before we go, let's see what the solds are doing here in this list. And let's look at days on market. Let's get rid of that. And let's see. So these selling low days on market, selling at or above the asking price. So that's fairly consistent with what we've been seeing, remember. And let's just blow that out. Let's see, let's reverse this. Days on market. So 55,000, 160 days. We looked at that. That was at Suzanne Drive here in Portsmouth. 134 days. That was 125,000 below the ask. That's a Justin Circle in York. 102 days, well below the original asking price. We looked at this Salter Street, and yeah, so these are fairly consistent. Here's an outlier, Bayside Road in Greenland, 71 days, but sold above the asking price, nearly 200,000. Nope, 96,000 above the asking price. Odd number. I wonder if there was an escalation clause in those offers, if there were multiple offers right at the last minute. Let's see. Let's take a look at that before we go. Did they do any price reductions? Didn't do any price reductions. So that's an outlier. That's something to keep an eye on. There are always going to be exceptions to these trends that we see. Berwick, 57 days, just slightly below, 15,000 below. 9,000 below at 56 days in Exeter. 55 days coming in below, 49 days below. So remember, when you start seeing 2 weeks, 3 weeks, those properties start to be a good contender. If you're a buyer, those properties start to be a good contender for making an offer below the asking price. Because clearly they are not getting offers, they're not getting acceptable offers, but that is just one thing to think about. Even see 21 days in New York, although at those price points, that is something else to consider. Here too, Somersworth, below the asking price, Hampton, and then down here, right around the first week is when you really want to be getting those offers coming in. So you want to price it appropriately to get that interest, to get that attention, and get that activity, because that initial activity is so crucial to selling your home quickly. At any rate, I'm Dan Freund. You can find me on all the social networks, myfrienddan.com, myfrienddan on all those social networks, and I'll see you again on Friday. And until then, have a really great week. Reach out with any real estate related questions or anything at all. I'd love to hear from you, even if it's not real estate related. All right, that's all I've got. Bye for now.